Hello people, this is our Cobra and this is Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition Blind. Last time we took a trip to the future. Today we'll,
The
well...
Inquisition appreciate your assistance in this matter, Lady Corbin. And my miners appreciate your business. You'll have your lyrium by the end of the week. I should tell you, Ambassador, the Chantry raised some fuss when they learned about our arrangement. The Inquisition must certainly seem an audacious idea to the Grand Clerics. We hope to convince them it is a necessary one as well.
Huh. But yeah, I should talk to everyone. Now we join the mages. Hey!
I'll take my leave. Good day.
Who was she, Ambassador?
A merchant. I thought we should reach out to the dwarves to secure lyrium for the Inquisition's mages.
Seems sensible.
According to Lady Corbin, it raised the ire of the Chantry.
Oh.
Access to lyrium makes us rather more formidable than anticipated. We're becoming a challenge. Sadly, the remaining Grand Clerics appear to be consolidating the Chantry's power, instead of comforting the masses.
I'll end up biting them in the ass. Can't say it hasn't been like this for a while.
Mage circles started falling years ago. The Chantry was troubled even before the Divine's murder.
Yet many people continue to bear it great love. We will not benefit from its decline. Little but the Chantry ties Orlais, Nevara, Ferelden, Antiva, and even Rivain to a common cause.
Has the Chantry truly promoted such peace?
Andraste's chant is familiar across kingdoms, a source of many shared customs. That is the crucial point. Common ground is the start of all negotiations.
So if everyone listens to the chant, things will be smooth as silk.
I did say commonality is merely a beginning, but it's an important one. We must learn to think beyond our own wants, to secure peace in Thedas.
That's quite ambitious.
Planning to steer the history of the world, Ambassador Montillier?
I believe the Inquisition is already charting that course. Which brings me to a question, if you have a moment. The remaining
Sure.
Grand Clerics sent a missive inquiring about the events at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. They demand to know whether the Inquisition officially claims that Andraste saved you from the breach. If it were up to you, how would you reply?
Well, I make no claims of being particularly holy.
I'll tell the Chantry I was saved by circumstance, not divine intervention.
Yet as rumors your Andraste's herald grow, the Grand Clerics may not believe such a humble reply. A difficult situation, and I thank you for your answer. A good day to you.
Look, a shining lady just came out and dragged me out of there. That's all I know. Was she in Grant? Who the hell knows?
Need anything more, revered mother?
I certainly don't.
That will help.
So maybe it wasn't drafted, but if it was, she certainly hasn't told me so. Ugh.
Magic exists to serve man and never to rule over him.
Oh, I got a damage bonus against demons.
If Fiona and her malcontents are joining us as allies, we need to be prepared. Abominations are inevitable. Cullen doesn't have enough Templars to handle incidents. Some of the rank and file need to be trained.
Some rank and file used to be trained as Templars? Good idea, we could use more.
The last thing we need are abominations running amok.
It's good to see someone with an understanding of the situation. I'll have a word with Cullen. We are reliant on his people, absolutely. There has never been a greater threat to mages than the breach. Until it is closed, no one is safe.
You do trust them, don't you? Are you a bit suspicious?
You have a low opinion of your fellow mages?
It's not a matter of opinion, my dear. I have a close relationship with reality. Many of our colleagues do not. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned.
Couldn't I save a circle? Well, I believe it's dangerous. I guess this would be the closest thing to go with it.
You're right, but Templars are a poor solution.
They are men, and all men are flawed. That some fail does not mean that none should try.
Same goes for mages, right?
There is no cure for an abomination except death.
As far as we
Someone
know.
must strike the killing blow. Who shall lower the blade if not a Templar?
Hey, they also said there was no cure for being,
As you will no doubt have a hand in shaping it, what future do you see for mages?
Well, wasn't nothing. They also said you couldn't be cured of being tranquil. That wasn't really true either. Mages should be free, not slaves. We need mages in the Chantry. Well, I would argue we don't need the Chantry, so I think freedom for mages.
Mages should be treated like anybody else.
You are not the first to forget that the walls of our towers kept the wolves out as much as they kept us in. We hate the Templars when they stand over us in judgment, but we thank them with all our hearts when they keep the mob at bay.
I'm sure the elves also appreciate being kept in the Alien Ages. You could say the same for the elves in the Alien Ages. The whole problem is that these mobs exist in the first place. That's indicating of a larger systemic problem. You can't just fix that by locking people in somewhere and saying, oh, well, that should take care of it. You need to work on that problem.
Lovely. They should have this week sealed soon enough. I suppose their gold spends as well as anyone else's.
There were so many questions surrounding Faria's death. Did he think we wouldn't notice? He's killed Faria, one of my best agents, and knows where the others are. You know what must be done. Make it clean. Painless if you can. We were friends once.
Well, if somebody's turned traitor on us, I can't abide traitoring. Sorry, no, that's just really... If you're gonna leave, you can at least go up and say, boss, I can't work with you anymore. Gotta go. And I can say, fair enough. And maybe we'll meet on the battlefield, but turning traitor? No, can't do. Don't accept it.
Glad to see traitors are dealt with quickly.
We must do whatever it takes to protect our interests. I am pleased that you agree.
I hate traitors.
I have no tolerance for traitors.
You take a harsh view, but I suppose that is the way in these troubled times. We will make the Inquisition a force to fear. Now, if you're happy, I have more work to do.
Fair enough. Beric! How's you and your apparently very attractive chest hair? Seriously, that's what everyone's talking about.
The
Doing.
Mage Rebellion joins the Inquisition. I've got to admit that's a twist I didn't see coming.
It's a great one.
One thing you saw in the future worries me. I mean, it was all bad. But Red Lyrium and Ferelden, infecting people and growing out of them, that's bad.
Yep.
Finding more of it really punches a hole in my Red Lyrium at the temple was a coincidence theory.
Do you know more about it?
How long does it take for red lyrium to grow? How fast can it spread?
It took years to infect people in Kirkwall, but no one there was actually ingesting the stuff. This Elder One managed to take the worst thing I can think of and make it worse. That's an accomplishment.
Well, then we might need to destroy it.
We can't leave a single piece of that lyrium out in the wild.
I'm with you on that. I've got people trying to find out where the red stuff came from. I think maybe we should make that a priority. But that's enough doom and gloom. You just won a big victory for the Inquisition. What are you going to do to celebrate?
Catch my breath might be a good start.
I was planning to put my feet up, maybe grab a nap. You?
Whatever I do, it'll be as far from Cassandra as I can get. Things should be calm around here for at least the next hour. Take a moment to enjoy it.
I will.
If the world's about to end, I'm sure the Seeker will let us know.
Fair enough. Have you heard the story of King Bedwyr? Bedwyr, like most kings, was a man of great pride, who expected nothing but complete loyalty from his subjects. He believed the best way to achieve this was through fear. After all, those who feared him would never cross him or question his rule. Most importantly, those who feared him would always seek to please him. Bedwyr cultivated terror in his subordinates through the gleeful and unrestrained use of a contraption referred to as the Maiden. The Maiden was a hinged iron casket, as high and wide and deep as a man, with vicious spikes within, meant to pierce through the poor soul locked into it. Bedwyr's Maiden was a prized possession of, and stood in a place of honor in his throne room, often with a screaming victim inside it. Political rivals, suspected assassins, treasonous ministers, the Maiden consumed them all. But as time passed, more people were given to the Maiden for increasingly trivial offences. The cook for assaulting the king's food, the page boy for dropping his sword. The Maiden cast a pall over the kingdom as people prayed for the deliverance from their cruel king. Then one day a strange woman rode into the city. She called herself Emperor and was an emissary from a far-off land. A leader had heard, she said, of Bedwyr's wisdom and authority, and she sought the king's counsel. The thought that he had earned the adulation of brother kings across the sea made Bedwyr swell with pride, and he granted Emperor an audience. They dined and danced, and through it all Emperor flattered and fawned over the king. Then of the night, Emperor asked to see the Maiden, the infamous device that had given Bedwyr all his power. The king, giddy with praise, proudly presented Emperor with the empty contraption. Emperor looked at the maiden, sighed with his one and said, "It does not look terrifying at all. I should imagine the spikes to be much sharper." Bedwyr grew red at her comment and replied, "The spikes are sharp enough. Look at the blood that still clings to them." "But it's so small," said Emperor. "Are only children and women its victims?" Bedwyr grew redder still and replied, "Of course not. The maiden has devoured many men." Emperor shook her head and said to the king, "I do not believe it. Surely no warrior could fear this thing. A man like yourself, tall and muscled, would not fit within." Oh my god. The king laughed and saw a way to prove the merit of the maiden to Emperor. "I will show you how easily a man like myself could fit," he said, and with that he stepped into the device. But Emperor was waiting, and no sooner had Bedwyr squeezed himself into the iron casket than Emperor slammed it shut on him. Emperor took the maiden with the screaming Bedwyr inside through the castle and down into the city. And the people finally free from the king's tyranny cheered and danced to a singing that echoed through the streets until the Bedwyr was dead and it finally stopped. Jeez. What an idiot! First of all, fear should be a component, not your entire focus. People need to both love, respect, and fear you. In somewhat equal measure. Fear is easy, but you can also, push them too far and then they rebel. You also want, respect. You want to make yourself useful and loved.
So, this is it, huh? Oh no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger.
The tavern?
Hear that? I meant the stronghold, but it sounded like... Well, it's funny, right?
Anyway,
okay. Stopping wars should earn more sovereigns than this. Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and mages need to be sat down.
What's your point of view in this?
The Templars and the mages. Most people pick a side.
Most people are stupid.
Can't really argue.
Stand on the wall.
In the middle, with everyone, not a Trevelyan, or whatever. You know what I hear about mages? Nothing, until one goes all demony. Know what I hear about Templars? Nothing, until they take maybe mages. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
And those questions are?
Is there something else you're looking for? Like, what's behind all this?
Maybe. I don't know. First things first, right?
I
I help you. March, arrow, kick. Then people stop being stupid, and everything starts to make sense again. Sound good to you, all chosen Lord Herald?
Sounds good to me.
I'm ready to give it a shot. That's all I can ask from anyone else.
I'm in. It's an investment, yeah? Better pay off, too. Stupid war and everything. I had things to do.
But making everyone stop being stupid? Oh boy. That's gonna take a lot of work. A lot